In this video, we are going to discuss GPT tokens, how GPT models converts your input and your output text into tokens, and how much it will cost you based on how much tokens you are using. And then at the end, we will also go through different GPT models to do some brief comparisons between GPT 3.5, 4 Turbo and 4o model. So let's get started. Language model read and write text in chunks called token. Every time we are giving an input to the GPT model, whether it's a one line or it's a single word or a couple of paragraphs, the GPT model will convert those into chunks, and those chunks will be called tokens. Token can be as short as one character or as long as one word. Before the API processes the request, input is broken down in tokens. So when you prepare that chat completion and you hit the enter button, the OpenAI library actually converts those inputs into tokens, and then it's sending into the actual API. Token counts includes both user prompt and model response. So it's not just how many tokens or how many words or text you are sending, but it also depends on how much response you are getting. That's why if you are limited on your budget, you can set the response to a specified number of tokens also, because OpenAI will charge you how many tokens you have used in the form of input and how many tokens you have used in the form of response. This is an example of text to tokens. So ChatGPT's grade is encoded into 6 tokens. So chat is one token, G is another token, PT is another token, space and is another token, and then space is grade is another token, and exclamation sign is another token. It's not like every word is one token or every space is one token. So there is an algorithm behind this text to tokens conversion. So a request can use up to 128,000 tokens, depends on the GPT model. So we'll discuss it later, which model has a limit of how many tokens. Token affects cost. We discussed this earlier. So it affects cost, affects the request time, and also the rate limit. So the more input you are sending and the longer response you are getting, the longer it will take, and there is a chance that OpenAI will rate limit you because you are sending too many tokens and getting too many tokens, or you are sending too many requests. OpenAI has provided a service to calculate your tokens based on how many text you are sending to the GPT model and how much text you are getting in the response. So let's try this. So here I'm in the token calculation service, and if I try some text here like who, you see there are 3 characters and consumes 1 token. And if I put a space, tokens converted to the characters are 4. Who won the, now the characters are 7 and the tokens are 2. Who won the first Cricket World Cup? Now you can see there are 31 characters and it's consuming 7 tokens. So based on the GPT pricing model, you will be charged for the 7 tokens. So now let's see how many OpenAI models we have available at the moment. OpenAI has a set of models with different capabilities and prices. There is GPT-4o, which is the fastest. It's a multimodal with both text and image. If you guys have noticed, when we were doing the image explanation part, we were setting the GPT model to 4o because it's a multimodal, so it accepts and works with both text and image. And this is also the most affordable model. Then we have GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is a fast, inexpensive model for simple tasks. 3.5 Turbo is the cheapest one, but this model is trained till 2021, and for that reason this is also recommended for simple tasks only. Then we have DALL-E. DALL-E can generate and edit images given a natural language prompt. Then we have Whisper model, and that can convert audio into text. Then we have Moderation also. Moderation is a fine-tuned model which detects whether text may be sensitive or unsafe. So in the future we will cover the DALL-E image for image generation. We'll also cover Whisper model for text to audio, and we'll also cover moderation. Now let's do some quick comparison among all these different GPT models, which is 4o, Turbo and 3.5 Turbo. 4o is the fastest and most affordable. GPT-4 Turbo is the previous model, which was before GPT-4o. It's a high intelligence model. 3.5 is the fast and expensive for simple tasks. 4o model accepts both text and image as an input and also generates output. 4 Turbo accepts text and image as input and also generates output. 3.5 Turbo is actually only a text-based model which accepts text only and also returns the response in the text format as well. The context length for the 4 4 model is 128K. For the 4 model, it's also 128K, and for the 3.5 turbo, it's 16K. Context window is the combination of your input text and also your output text. And if you are giving the previous messages to the GPT model as a context window, so every time you are asking for a question, the GPT model will be trying to give the response in the context of that whole conversation. So that is the context window, and that length must not exceed 128K for the 4 models and 16K for 3.5 turbo. So going to the cost, the GPT-4o model will cost you $5 per 1 million tokens when you are sending input. The GPT-4 turbo will cost you $10 per 1 million tokens, and 3.5 turbo will cost you 0.5 for 1 million tokens. For the output, GPT-4o will cost you $15 per 1 million tokens. 4 turbo will cost you $30 per 1 million tokens. 3.5 turbo will cost you 1.5 for 1 million tokens. So you can see the 3.5 model is the cheapest one, because it only costs you 1.5 per 1 million tokens, while 4 and 4o will cost you 30 per 1 million and 15 per 1 million. And the same goes for the input. 3.5 will cost you $0.5 per 1 million tokens, and GPT-4 and 4o will cost you $10 and $5 per 1 million tokens. But the only disadvantage with the 3.5 model is that it's trained few years back, so you will not have data earlier than 2021. And the other thing is that the 3.5 model is only a text-based model, so you cannot pass image. In case of 4 models, you can pass both text and image, and context window is much higher than the 3.5, and the models are trained 1 year back. For the detailed pricing, which we already have covered in the previous video, but if you guys want to check it again, you can go to this URL and see the detailed pricing of each model. Now in this video, we saw the comparison between different GPT models. We also saw how the tokens are calculated and how the tokens will affect your cost. As we discussed that the GPT 3.5 is trained till 2021, and the GPT-4 models are trained up to October 2023. What happens if something has happened in 2024? How we can get the recent data from the internet, maybe like how was the weather today in London, or who won the last football match, maybe which was played last week. But this OpenAI has provided a solution called function calling, and in the next video we will go through function calling in detail to see how we can get the recent and up-to-date data using the GPT models.